Guys doing today? I'm Clarice Miner, the owner and founder of Financial Bondage Broken. I'm coming on live to talk to you again today about finances, and I got some great tips for you guys, so you don't want to miss it. So please come on, let me know that you are on, so I can acknowledge you properly. I like to greet my guests that come on here. So please come on, let me know that you're here, and give me a shout out. Let me know where you live, city, state, zip, all that good stuff. Not zip. Don't give me your zip. Just give me your city, your state, your country, and I will give you a good shout out. Okay. So I'm going to get right into it today. I got 5 things that I need you to do so that you can recession proof your finances. Okay, recession proof your finances. That's very important. So 5 things I want you to do, and then I got a scripture behind it so that it's going to help encourage you as you are recession proofing your finances. So the first thing I want you to do is pay down your debts. Okay, pay down all your debts. So if you have stuff like credit card debts, you have student loans, car payments, things of that nature, pay them down so that, for example, so that when a recession hits, and we may hit a recession very soon if we're not in one yet, if or when a recession hits, you won't have all these debts piled up stressing you out because you don't know what to do. So for example, like credit card debt, pay that stuff down. Okay, pay that stuff down so that you do not have a balance owed every month. So for example, if you after, not for example, but after you pay those debts down, your credit card down, then if you want to use it, I recommend, your financial coach recommends that you do not spend more than you can afford. Okay, so to pay off within that month. So if you just make a small purchase of like gas, you buy gas every week, every couple of weeks, whatever. If you have make a small purchase like gas that is already in your budget, then you can pay that off right away. So just use the credit card, pay it, put the money that you would spend on your gas for that week, put that money to the side, and then when the bill is due, you can just mail that payment. I mean, not mail it, but submit that payment right away, and you it won't come out of your budget. Okay, so the second tip I have for you so that you can recession proof your finances is boost your emergency savings. It is so important that you have an emergency savings in place right now, because when a recession happens or you just happen to lose your job, so a personal recession is going on right now, or takes place in your home, you will have that emergency savings in place. I cannot stress how important it is to have an emergency savings. Let me tell you what emergency savings does. It saves you from emergencies. It saves you from emergencies. So if you are don't have an income or your income has decreased, you have that cushion in place. So I recommend, most people will say 3 to 6 months. No, I recommend 6 to 12 months of an emergency savings, because first of all, once you find a new job, you still got bills to pay. You won't get your first paycheck for like another week, 2 weeks, depending on when you get paid. So you still have that. You got insurance that's going to come out in 3 months. You got all these other things. So if you have at least 6 to 12 months of emergency savings in place, you will be okay. Okay, you will be okay, and nothing will get behind if you have your emergency savings in place. Okay, so one, pay your debts off. Two, boost your emergency savings. Oh, let me give you an example of how you can boost your savings. If you are working right now, we're going through the coronavirus, and there are still people out there working. First, the essential employees are out there working. Listen, if you get a bonus, this is just a tip. If you get a bonus at work, don't spend that bonus. Put the bonus into your emergency savings account. Why? Because you need an emergency savings. Excuse me. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have an emergency savings. Excuse me. All right. Stimulus checks. Put your stimulus check in your emergency savings. Use it to pay off debts. If you are still working, use that extra income, because that's extra income from you. Use that extra income wisely. All right. Tip number three, identify ways you can cut back on some of your expenses. For example, car insurance. You can cut back on that by shopping around for new rates, especially if you're paying off debts. Guess what? If you're shopping around for new rates, your debts are being paid off, your credit score is going up. A lot of insurance companies go according to your credit report and your score. So if you pay those things off, your credit score is going up. Now you can shop around for a better in car insurance rate. Cell phone bills. Go to a company that has better rates and can offer you the same phone that you have, or you can transfer that phone and get a better rate. Save you hundreds of dollars. Memberships that you don't use or don't need. For example, um, if you weren't going to the gym before the coronavirus took place, there more than likely you may not go after it's taking place, especially if you're sitting at home and not doing anything to take care of your health right now. So close the membership accounts that you're not using. Okay. Another thing, fourth tip I have for you: live within your means. A good way that will help you live within your means is to give yourself an allowance. Give yourself an allowance. If you can afford $10 a day, a week, or per pay, give yourself $10. If you can afford more than that, give yourself more, but make sure that you give yourself an allowance. That means that way you won't be hitting the your debit Visa card every chance you get. You won't be hitting the ATM machine every chance you get. Every time you want to make a purchase, you'll have your pocket money, and then you will see how much of that pocket money you will be saving every week. Okay, so that will help you live within your means. Okay. All right. So tip number five, last tip for the day: focus on your long-term goals. If your long-term goal is to number one, your long-term goal is to be to have an emergency savings in place. If that's not in place, everything else gets put on a back burner. Plan for retirement. Everybody's going to retire at some point in time. You're going to get old. You don't know what's going to happen to your body. You're going to get old. You're going to get old. You're going to get old. So eventually, you're not going to be able to work. My grandfather, rest his soul, he passed away not too long ago, but he worked until he was about 75 years old. And my sister and I joke about this all the time, how granddaddy used to go out and looking for a job at 80 years old. Who the heck is going to hire you, granddad? But he went out to try to find a job all the time, asking people who's hiring. He worked at in North Carolina at a dry cleaning company, and they had to let him go because he was so old, right? So you know, eventually you're going to have to retire, and he retired living very comfortably. So you're going to retire, have a retirement plan in place. Look at the long-term goals while you're taking care of and managing your current financial status, okay, and situation. So by doing that, being able to manage it and stay within your means and follow these tips that I've given you today to recession proof your finances, you have to have a budget. I cannot stress the importance of having a budget. So many people want credit restoration, credit repair, but do not want a budget. Listen, that's all great, but you need a budget to be in place. Now, I've given you some great tips on how to recession proof your finances, but guess what? These tips can only work if you keep the faith and you keep pressing, because it's going to be times where you're going to want to stop, but keep going. In Galatians 6 and 9, here's the scripture. Galatians 6 and 9 states that if you do not grow weary in well doing, you will reap the blessings that are coming soon. So go to that. I did not quote it correctly, but go to it, and I guarantee you it will bless your entire soul. God bless you. This is Clarice Minor, owner of Financial Bondage Broken, and I'm excited to help you with your financial freedom. God bless you. Have a great day.